Hi, I'm Rob Arnason. I'm a reporter with the Western Producer, and today I'm in Sperling, Manitoba at a green ammonia conference. And standing next to me is Mario Tenuta, University of Manitoba soil scientist, and Mario has been the organizer and host of this event. So Mario, during your part of the day, part of the workshop, you made a presentation and you presented a statistic showing that only 1% of global fertilizer is produced from renewables. That's quite a shocking number. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Because it seems like a very low figure to me.
Yeah, well, when it's less than 1% of current ammonia production that's based on renewables, there's not much more I can say about that.
Right.
In terms of,
Yeah.
it's extremely low, almost non-existent currently.
Yeah.
And really that's because our current system of synthesis of ammonia is based on either natural gas or on coal. In Canada, it's natural gas. So that's where the investment has been for our plants. What's happening now is tied in with research and with entrepreneurship. There is interest, but more so of an investment in renewable energy produced ammonia, which is called green ammonia. So that's producing electricity with wind or solar in particular. There's a bit of controversy or debate about if nuclear should be involved in there now, but as what I'm seeing is nuclear is becoming more and more considered in the mix of renewables. So Rob, you're right, it's non-existent right now, but as you saw this morning with our field site and the installation on RNL acres, there's action happening in terms of implementing renewable or green ammonia production, small scale like on the farm here, but also at large scale factories that are coming on board, not using natural gas and Haber-Bosch to produce nitrogen, but rather using renewable electricity and producing green ammonia.
So just to expand upon that, we heard about, it could be sort of a distributed model here where farmers or smaller scale plants kind of produce the anhydrous for their own farm or for a particular region or a collection of farms, or we could have like a multi-billion-dollar investment into more of a centralized facility that does green ammonia production. How do you see this playing out in Canada?
It's a great question. So one of the things that we're doing through our research project, the NICE project, with collaborations with UK, US, and other Canadian researchers, is looking exactly at that, trying to see what the nitrogen path, value chain, what it would look like between on-farm production, which being the distributed, or the centralized, being the large factory production. There's probably advantages to both, and it's probably going to be regional in terms of where it's best suited. Let's take Manitoba, for example. We have, in effect, a green grid because of our hydroelectricity. So right off the bat, you can tap into the grid and produce green ammonia. Our energy costs in Manitoba for that electricity are fairly decent respective to other places, right, in Canada or the United States. There's another advantage there. Now, Manitoba is one of the places in Canada that uses anhydrous ammonia. About 20 to 25% of the nitrogen going down in Manitoba is anhydrous ammonia. So we have farmers, like at RNL acres here, that are used to and geared to putting down ammonia. So Manitoba seems to be quite amenable to the distributed model, but other regions may not have those factors going for them, and a centralized model where they're bringing in, could be overseas, could be from Morocco, could be Saudi Arabia, that green ammonia is being produced and then transported to locations. So yeah, it's going to be interesting over the next 5 to 10 years to see where it plays out, and our project is kind of looking at where the right factors seem to be there for either approach.
So at the end of the day, if a farmer was to, install this sort of system on their farm where they're going to be producing their own ammonia, have sort of more control, this fundamentally comes down to economics, right? I mean, it has to make sense for that person's business. This is not about necessarily one individual farmer saving the planet. They're going to make a decision because it makes sense financially for their farm, correct?
For sure. Yeah, we heard Curtis just now talk about it comes down to costs and money, and return on investments, and then also how does it compare to gray ammonia or the current ammonia based on that natural gas. And so he was saying, well, I know my price for gray ammonia over the past 5-10 years, and it's fluctuated between here and there. What can green ammonia do for me? I have an installation on my farm. I have solar arrays. I have this green grid in Manitoba. Fairly good idea of what prices are going to be for the electricity. Now, pencil in how much is it going to cost to make the green ammonia, and he was telling us that it's competitive. And then there seems to be, I'm not sure what we call it, not quite a convenience factor, but this idea of gray ammonia prices fluctuate wildly, which can cause problems if you're managing $1 million bills in fertilizer, right? And you say, well, all of a sudden my costs have doubled, and it's a significant amount of money. They can even kill that over time by producing green ammonia. It means a lot. It's very helpful. And then there's also the transportation in terms of the lack of transportation. You don't have to transport it to your farm when you need it. You have the supply available already there. Maybe that's more convenience, maybe, but there's also could be reduced costs too. So there's some pretty compelling advantages with the distributed models, particularly here in Manitoba. And it seems to, the economics seem to be, I won't say favorable, because we really need to be studying and examining existing systems over a number of years. And we're going to get to that soon. But let's say it's extremely great potential.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Mario. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.